Hello and welcome to Dreamloop DeVlogs. We're sitting here again with Tommi, Kimmo and Ville. My name is Matias, and this week we're going to talk about some Christmas games or holiday games. And one of the themes is what is the best game or the most memorable game that you've ever gotten for a Christmas present? And does anybody have a clear candidate to begin with?
I have two, which I'm still battling, which I should say.
You can say both.
The nominees are the first. When I first got my PlayStation 1, I also got Crash Bandicoot 2. That was, I mean, I don't even know how many hours I've put into that game, but I mean it was well worth it. And the second one is for PlayStation 2, The Lord of the Rings: The Return of the King, which for a licensed game is fucking excellent.
Great choice.
Again, I have no idea how many hours I've put into that game, but so worth it.
You know those games like in and out.
Basically, yes. I think if I was given that game again, I would just like, okay, yeah, this is how it would.
Funny thing about Lord of the Rings games is that are there actually that many bad Lord of the Rings IP games? Because there's a lot of ones like that people seem to have fond memories and like.
Yeah,
There's some really weird ones for the Super Nintendo and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I think there are not really. I cannot think of that many shovelware.
Yeah.
I think there was that one. Was it GameCube or Wii game? The Aragorn adventure game. I think that was a bit of a shovelware-y.
But wasn't that like one of those so bad it's good type of games?
It could have been, yes.
Yeah. I'm not sure, but yeah. But that's a tangent.
But I think it's sort of a universal conclusion that the Two Towers and the Return of the King action games were really good.
Yeah.
I remember hearing that.
There was also one really awesome screenshot I saw on Twitter where somebody put the graphic settings from Shadow of Mordor all the way down and said that now it looks like a really epic PS2 game. Actually, it's true. But yeah, some great stuff. What about Kimmo?
Yeah, actually, Tom is another candidate. Crash Bandicoot, he just stole my answer, so thank you there.
Okay.
But yeah, I had two as well. The other one was that one, the Cortex Strikes Back, if I remember correctly. Yeah, and there was something we got with my sister as a present, and we played it a lot during the holidays back then. And but yeah, the other one was Final Fantasy VIII, if I remember correctly. It was either 8 or 9. It was 8 because 9 I got from abroad. Yeah, so it was 8, and then I remember playing it overnight to the Christmas day. So I think I finished the first disc or something crazy on the first night I got it. So yeah, that was something.
I'm also curious. Did you two ever like 100% complete Crash Bandicoot 2?
I can't remember.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
There
So
was
usually just went back and played the first two, like, what do you call those, like, sets of levels, like,
Yeah.
when you go with the other way.
Yeah.
I think I'm not even sure if I actually ever like, played through the game because it got ridiculously hard at the end. But like those two sets of levels, I think I know like forwards and backwards.
I think that's a really cool thing about some of those older games, especially like PS1 era, because like they were like near the end they were so hard, but as a kid like you didn't expect yourself to be able to beat it. Like so there was always this magical like what comes after this. I don't even know like this journey to discover. You don't really get that, or maybe as a kid you do. But that is, at least as an adult, you don't really get that much. Like, I guess maybe, and I guess this is gonna be a recurring thing. Like maybe in Dark Souls or something like that, you kinda get that.
Yeah.
I mean, those are still games you're supposed to be. Or maybe like talking about these really challenging platformers like Boshi and stuff like that, or whatever. But like,
there's like a little element of like asking your friend like, have you gotten past that stage? And you like,
And like
have you
coming up-
seen what comes after that?
And coming up with these theories, like what's gonna happen, or, and everybody always had that one friend who like completely lied about, like, oh yeah, I did it, and then this happens, and
And then you saw some, like from a magazine or something, you saw like a picture of some level that you have never seen.
Yeah.
Oh, is that where it ends? Oh, is that the final boss?
Yep.
Or kind of similar with Super Mario 64, because it had so many like hidden levels and stuff.
Yeah.
Like that. You were always like, what if there's? Oh my God! Like, or I remember like there's in Super Mario 64 there's the one bit where you have to like there's the mirror like area, and you had to jump through one of the walls to get to one level. And I remember hearing it from somewhere like that's bullshit. Like that's from one of those guys. So
Yeah.
you always you always say that it's not gonna be true. And then we actually found that and we're like, oh my God.
Yeah, it's true. The legends were true.
Yeah, it's very true.
I sincerely remember one Christmas when I got a game for a present, and it was for the 8-bit Nintendo. It was the Wizards and Warriors 3 Visions of Power. And it's not by any means the best game ever made, but it was first of its kind to me, in that you have to gain new abilities and backtrack to places, and then you can proceed from like obstacles you previously couldn't. And it's a pretty hard game, at least it was for me as a kid, and I don't think I ever actually fully beat it. But it was one of those games that really sticks into your mind because you have to play it so much and like figure everything out by yourself, because no internet, no walkthroughs and everything. And you get to listen to the music over and over and over, and the stage design is also like kinda dream-like. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense because it's a side-scrolling game, but the main area of the game is a city that is actually like it's built upwards. So you have to kind of jump on platforms to climb higher and higher, and it doesn't really like make sense. Why would a city be built like that? So it creates like these really childlike memories, and it's a funny game.
So it's some sort of a Metroidvania sort of thing that where you go back and forth and backtrack and stuff.
Yeah, a little bit like that. You play as a knight character at the beginning, and then you gain new like character classes. You get a thief class and you get a wizard class, and they have different abilities.
Hold on, are you talking about trying now?
Wait. Hold on. Yeah, but that really stuck to my mind. I got many games for Christmas presents, but that was one that somehow, I don't know, it just kind of stuck with me. Ville, you previously mentioned that you used to get money and you bought your own Christmas games later.
Or earlier on.
Yeah.
Or, like because I don't know, like at least I don't really remember like with Christmas specifically.
Yeah.
Like I remember playing a lot of games around Christmas time, but I don't really that much remember getting like video games specifically for Christmas. I think at one point we got like a second copy of Neverwinter Nights, so that me and my brother could play online at the same time. Original Neverwinter Nights, not the new one. That's one thing, but I have a lot of fond memories like playing games over the Christmas.
So what's your like? Do you have some favorite ones?
Like one thing, like and this is something I don't remember if it was specifically around Christmas. It was definitely around winter. I bought Monster Hunter for Wii. We were on a cruise to Sweden with my folks, and I saw it there in a store. It was pretty cheap, and I'd heard online that Monster Hunter is a really good game. And I really like big dinosaurs and dragons and stuff like that. So I was like, and it just seems amazing. It seems cool. So I bought it, and I remember like sitting in my parents' couch. Like they had this like sort of little like cubby hole of this like corner with a TV and a couch there, and it has like it's at the top floor of the house. So there's like window there, like this, like.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there with a big cup of coffee and just playing it, and like it's snowy outside and it's completely quiet because my parents live in a really small town. It's completely quiet apart from like and I woke up like relatively early for myself just to play it, and
Yeah.
and just beat some dinosaurs up with a really big hammer. And I have really fond memories of that. Like it wasn't even like any specific thing. It was just like everything about that experience was enjoyable. And Monster Hunter is such a good game that That's something that has stuck with me. And
Yeah.
and I think I remember doing that then, because I don't go to my folks' place that often. Like around Christmas time, I would go back and play Monster Hunter. Yeah, that's one thing. And then the other thing is because when I go there, of course, I don't have my proper computer, I don't have my laptop, so I tend to play different games. So for example, it is almost a ritual at this point to restart Baldur's Gate 2 when I get there. And then always, that's a game for me where I know the beginning inside out. When I remember, like even when I was older, I've started it so many times and played through the first sections of the game, but there's just so much to do, and because I'm such like, don't want to miss anything, and I want to min-max everything and stuff like that, I always end up just, at some point, like, I just start doing side activities, and it sort of just grinds to a halt. So, like, I always have a good time, but I don't think I've ever beaten Baldur's Gate 2. I'm pretty sure I haven't. I've gotten relatively far, but I've never beaten it.
Yeah, I know the feeling that you start a game and you just have a really good time, but it's kind of grinds to a halt, like you said. For me, a Christmas game would be Knights of the Old Republic 2. It has nothing to do with Christmas, but there was one particular Christmas where I just was so much into the game that I played it so much, and I was like, the whole that Christmas time just associated itself with that game, and ever since that game has felt like a Christmas game to me. It doesn't have anything to do with the holidays, but it's still like the memory is connected, and it's heartwarming.
I don't really have a game that I come back to at Christmas, other than like some board games that I play with my parents and my siblings and the family. There was like at some point when Wii was a big thing, we used to always do the bowling and then the golf and everything like that. So, and I've been thinking I probably should try to figure out another game that I could introduce my family to, and then we can play it together.
Jackboxes.
Jackbox could be one. There probably wouldn't be as many Hitlers there.
And big jokes and
yes,
all that,
but yeah, that could be a good one.
What about Kimmo?
Well, Tommi mentioned board games, so actually, yeah, we have a long tradition. We always go to my grandma's place for Christmas, and there's cousins from all over Finland, and then not today's that much, but there used to be years when we might have played like board games until the late night, like 4 o'clock or something like that, through the night. They used to be like a thing, and we would also always like we would get a new game that we then play, and one of them I remember very well that when we got that was, it's called Rappakalja in Finnish.
Oh, yeah, it's a really good game.
I don't know what it's called in English, I have no idea, but the gist of the game is basically that you have themes of different things that you have to come up a description or some sort of explanation to. For example, a word. There's a word from Swahili or something that you have to come up with a description. Then you pass the description to this one person who like handles the round and read out everyone's answers, and then you have to try to pick the right answer from the bunch of the answers that everyone has written, and then there's of course the right answer there in the mix, and then points are like if someone picks your answer, it was of course wrong, but funny usually, then you get points and go forward in the board, and if you of course pick the right answer, then you. I think that was something we played a lot.
I think that's a very Jackbox game.
It's a very much like the one Jackbox game. I can't remember the name. It's not Fibbage.
Is it Fibbage? I think it's Fibbage.
It might be
The one where you have to lie. Or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, it's very much like that. But it's even funnier when you're around the table. The explanations are usually much longer. So you actually use some time.
Yeah, and you can use like your hands and stuff like that. And yeah, they're much more social.
That was such a game that there was this one category, like there's this movie category where there's the title of a movie, and then you have to come up with a description to the movie.
Oh, yeah.
And that was so tedious that we always just banned. No, we don't do the movies. We do something else. Yeah. So.
Board games are awesome. I wish I could get more into like playing board games, especially over like holidays. With
We have a ton of board games here.
Yeah.
Yeah, we actually
even in
we
shot, yeah.
Yeah, we do. We have like Doom 3 as well.
Doom 3 board game. Yeah, but my family, we don't play that much board games because it tends to devolve into fights and rules and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I remember like a couple of times we played Alphabet. I think it's Alphabet in English too, you know, where you have to do words. And pro tip, in Finnish, we have a lot of, or Scribble, is it Scribble or Scrabble? Scrabble, yeah, Scrabble in English, yeah. Scrabble essentially. In Finnish we have a lot of compound words, and the rules of that game get a bit more complicated than they might be in English. And then, you know, there's a lot of teachers and stuff like that in my family and stuff like that, so you can get words that just like just go around the board and you start having fights like that's not a proper compound word, and you start coming up with stories where that could theoretically be used and stuff like that, and
Yeah.
it never ends well.
The best situations with games like that and games with rules that you can kind of try to read as you wish. Like I remember a Moomin board game where the rules. I played this with my girlfriend and a couple of other friends, and the rules in that game are written in such a way that they are really not like 100% like airtight. There's nothing like in Magic the Gathering. You have to understand how to read the rules, and you can beat the other person by knowing how to read the rules. But in that game, they're written in such a layman's terms, like in a way that we almost got into like fights like between me saying one thing about that rule, but it doesn't say that. You can't interpret this sentence in that way that you're saying. And it's one of those really crazy moments. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's game design, so to speak.
Yeah, it might be a deliberate choice because it kind of fits into the Moomin like state of mind in my
Well,
opinion.
fighting doesn't really, but
No, not fighting, except taistelevat Moomins.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
But there's something like really humane in the fact that the rules are written in a somewhat nebulous way.
And that can be really fun. It becomes more of a and like in general with board games, like stuff tends to get very like you tend to have house rules. Like Monopoly is the classic example where nobody plays it properly because it's. I mean, everybody's probably heard this already, but like Monopoly, of course, initially was not designed to be a beatable or a fun game. It's a critique on capitalism.
Yeah.
So what is supposed to happen is one player gets all the expensive properties and just steamrolls everybody else. But then it feels unfair, and people expect the board game to be fair. So the rules for auctioning stuff and stuff like that, like people use them wrong, so that it's theoretically, you know, like possible to, you know, come back and stuff like that, and then it just becomes a really weird game that takes forever.
Yeah, that's actually something we played a lot when I was younger at Christmas, and I always hated losing. There was always usually my sister's husband who always won the game, and it was not fun.
And because there's kind of like strategies to Monopoly and stuff like that. Like you can kind of, you know, to a point, you can kind of play it well, so to speak. But ultimately, it's just designed to be an unfair and a little bit random.
Yeah, who gets the best rolls in the beginning?
And that tends to be one thing that in Finland, at least, like we like a lot of really bad, like classically, a lot of really bad board
Kimmo,
games.
for
Yeah,
example.
Kimmo, completely random.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's that in English. Do they?
Not sure.
Is it a thing outside of Finland? It's like a.
I think it's a Scandinavian.
Yeah, it's like you have this like a bubble on the middle of a board that there's a couple of dice inside. You press on it and it like makes them bounce. So that's how you roll the dice, and it's completely and entirely basically based around dice rolls. And then there's.
Sort of like Hearthstone.
Yeah, and then there's Africa, that like the Star of Africa, where you're looking for this diamond in Africa, which is also basically completely random. And like all our classic board games are completely just.
It's sort of the Dark Souls of board games.
It's Dark Souls of board games.
Yes.
Oh, in a way it can be because
Because you can get fucked if
Yeah,
you
you
just
can
roll
just-
yourself on like a what are those, like bandits.
Yeah, the bandit
They just
tile.
take your money
Yeah,
and
yeah.
just fuck.
Yeah, or somebody can just go like bandit, and
Yeah.
another guy just gets the, or you get bandit 3 times and then you get the star and you win the game anyway. Like, it's
Yeah.
just completely unfair and stupid.
You died.
The funny thing is that you can win that game in the second round.
Yeah, everything I think.
Yeah. But we like that for some reason. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but maybe it creates this atmosphere that everybody has a chance.
Yeah, and at least with my family, like it sort of became like it sort of becomes this like a joke, like one person getting lucky or one person doing well, and so everybody's sort of acknowledging that it's luck and stuff like that. And I really noticed that sort of has that has led to me relating to certain things in games in certain ways. Like, for example, it's really funny that for me it's a very natural progression to go from that to, for example, Diablo 3. And whenever we start a season, we joke about like one guy, usually my brother, gets really lucky with the loot stuff like that, and like it's sort of an evolution from there, like this certain relationship with RNG.
Yeah.
Maybe Finnish people have because we have really shitty board games. I don't know.
Yeah, but I think it's healthy to understand that luck is also a part of games, and especially when you play a board game where everything's based on luck, it creates an atmosphere with the other players that we're not here to like be better than the other. We're here to just enjoy the game and laugh when somebody succeeds and laugh when somebody fails, and it's a fair atmosphere.
That's actually true, because when I started thinking about it, like in my family, it was usually mostly all right with the random games. But then when we started getting more modern games, like Scrabble, for example, which are more skill-based, then it becomes, because we are super competitive. And I mean, this is getting a little bit into a tangent, but like this applies to modern game design too, because for example, take Hearthstone, which is a card game, cultural card game, that just keeps adding RNG to make it non-competitive and fun to people. So we're kind of going back to having more RNG so that everything doesn't need to be so
But
competitive.
then at the same time they're pushing the competitive side.
Yeah, because people want that.
Yeah.
That's the ridiculous bit, that people at the same time want to be competitive, but don't want to need to learn things and actually, fucking, I don't know, like, it's really weird. At the same time, you want to have the random chance to win, and get lucky and whoa, strike gold. But at the same time, you also want it to mean something. You want it to be a competitive game where it's like, oh, I'm really good.
That's actually a great topic for another time.
Yes, because we are really over
But
time.
we're a little over time here. But what's your favorite Christmas game to play, or your favorite game that you ever got for a holiday present? Let us know in the comments. And in somewhere down below. And anyway, we are done here. See you next episode.
And Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
And a Happy New Year.
All that
And Hanukkah.
And holidays.
Yeah, all of those things, yes.
all these things.
Have
See
fun.
you next year.
See you next time.